Well, I have been writing since I was in the second grade. And it was really just like, oh, this is a fun thing that my teacher is teaching me. But when I knew that it was something that I was going to take seriously was, you know, in high school, where it became like, this is like my coping mechanism. This is how I'm going to be able to process my grief. And once I got to UC Santa Cruz, it became very evident that this was going to be a huge part of my life, because I began traveling and performing and doing all of those things a lot more. And as far as writing off the page, or specifically outside of performance, it was writing my thesis, and like going through the process of like, wow, I'm going to publish a book, or, you know, I'm going to do something vastly different from just performing. So it's been an interesting journey. I love to write about my lived experiences. I love to write about Richmond and, you know, what it's been like being a young person growing up in this community. And then I write about what's happening globally, just because it has an impact on us. And more recently, I've been challenging myself to write about my different griefs and traumas, and utilizing it as a genuine way to process what's happening, instead of writing about it and being like, all right, I'm done, I don't want to talk about it anymore. So really, like, how am I utilizing it to tell my story, so that other folks experiencing something similar can breathe, can hear like, all right, like somebody is experiencing this and they're pushing forward, so let me get along with that. So I wrote it for the class of 2018, but specifically making waves, right? So I think it's different. I mean, I've performed at graduations before. I got to perform at my own graduation as an undergrad, but to write a poem to wave makers was just super different, which is why you'll hear in the poem, it's like, you know, how full of blues and jazz your skin is. So like, folks of color growing up here, having to experience all of the things that we have, and to see the pain, to see all of the things that we have, you know, triumphed against, and to see the jazz, the music, the liveliness of who we are as wave makers. Think about our affirmation. How many times we had to say the affirmation and we would be annoyed, but like thinking about how all of those things are actually manifesting, you know, that's what I think about. So writing that poem was such an exciting experience, because it was the first time that I was really able to pay homage to not only my fellow students and wave makers, but the people that have co-created this space, that made it a family. Writing that poem was such an amazing experience, and that it was finally my way of saying thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, for all of us and to all of us, because we are doing something that is, you know, exceptional, and it shouldn't be, you know. Everybody should have this opportunity, and I think Making Waves is normalizing that. Like, no, this is just what it is. This is what we get to do, right along with everybody else. And so yeah, the poem is really just like, thank you for normalizing success for us, Richmond, you know.